So you've just gone and spent about $2 bloody grand on Samsung's new Galaxy Z Fold 7 and you're staring at it like, I really hope this thing can somehow magically print money. Well, no, it doesn't print money. You will just have to get used to being skint for a while. But the Fold 7 is a clever wee foldy bugger, packed with all kinds of great features up to but excluding currency generation. Now here's a run through of some of the best bits of the Galaxy Z Fold 7, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding the old notifications bell. Cheers! So let's start with some setup shenanigans and basic stuff. Now, if you want the exact same apps and widgets to appear on that cover screen and the whopping great internal screen, you don't have to bugger about setting them up separately. All you need to do is pinch and then go to settings, and you'll see there's an option that says cover screen mirroring. If this is turned on, then any changes you apply to the cover screen will also apply to the main screen. So for instance, I'll just shift YouTube up there for some reason, and you'll see on that cover screen it's also bumped up. But of course you might use completely different apps on the cover screen and the main screen, quite likely in fact, in which case you might want to turn the cover screen mirroring off, and now you can change the two different desktops independently and that won't be reflected on the other one. Now when you first set up the Galaxy Z Fold 7, if you start using an app here on the cover screen and then open up, it immediately pops up on that internal screen so you can keep on doing whatever it was you were doing. But if you're mucking around in an app here on the internal display and then close up the Z Fold 7, by default it will just hibernate and you have to actually unlock the phone and go back into the app. And if you're not a fan of that setup, no worries, just go to settings, go to display, and then you'll see there's an option in there, continue apps on cover screen. All you need to do then is change that to always if you want to be able to just immediately continue on that app when you fold up. Or else there's another option, swipe up to continue apps. So say we're mucking around in Spotify, we close up the Z Fold 7, you then immediately swipe up the screen and boom, straight back into that app. On the other hand, if you fold up and don't immediately swipe up that screen, it will hibernate after just a few seconds. Now in OneUI 8, Samsung has once again separated out the notifications panel and the control center, which I know kind of irks quite a lot of people. Just drag down your finger from anywhere on that screen to get to the notifications center, and then if you drag down from the top right edge, that'll pull open the control center. If you're not a fan of this setup, no worries, you can quickly and easily change it by going into the control center, tapping this wee pencil up here and going to panel settings. And as you can see, there's a separate or together option, just hit together. And once again, they will be combined into one glorious whole. Just drag again a second time for that control center. And if you are playing a bit of music, perhaps a relaxing bit of Byyyeeeeee or something like that, you'll notice that the media controls do pop up here in the notifications bar, but you can also quickly and easily access them just by tapping this wee pop-up here. And say this song isn't your favorite, just skip on into the next one. And in the case of Spotify, you can also add the current song to your liked list. And then when you're messing around with any app on that main screen on the Z Fold 7, you can bring up the dock with just a deft flick of the finger from that bottom edge, and then choose any other app that you want. If the app you require is not in the main dock, just tap these wee dots here and that'll bring up basically every other app. And then just press and hold your finger on any app that you want to multitask with, and then drag it to the section of the screen you want it to appear on, so in this case the right side, and up it pops. You can resize those windows if you require, and also if you tap the wee bar that appears at the top of each app, you can then shrink it down into one of these dinky wee movable windows. And also if you press and hold on that wee bar, you can drag an app to a different location. It is a pleasingly flexible multitasking environment, and of course you can drag up to 3 different apps onto the screen at once. It's pretty handy if you're trying to email, research stuff, and also watch a video at the same time. So you just have this bold gate squished away in one corner, banging on while you're doing other stuff. You can also customize the taskbar. If you go into settings, then head to display again, there is a taskbar option in there. You can deactivate it if you don't want it for whatever bizarre reason. Otherwise, you can also have it permanently on screen. A couple other quick tips for you as well. If you do like to multitask, make sure you head down to advanced features and then labs. There is an option in here, multi-window for all apps. Make sure that is enabled because some apps do not like multitasking and flat out refuse to do it without that selected. And then another quick tip, it is possible to enter split screen mode just by swiping 2 fingers from the edge and then choosing another app to pop up on that side. You'll find this option once again in advanced features. It's swipe for split screen inside of the multi-window settings. Now, if you happen to be playing a video in YouTube on that main display, you want to go hands-free, well, no worries. All you need to do is just fold the Z Fold 7 like so, prop it up, and as you can see, it then automatically enters a sort of split screen mode where you've got the video playing on that top half. And you'll see now you've got media controls here at the bottom, so you can quickly and easily skim through a video like so. Of course, just quickly pause or skip on to the next one in the playlist. There's a similar sort of setup for other apps as well called the Flex Mode panel. You'll find this in the advanced features section of the settings. Just go to Flex Mode panel. I've currently got this automatically popping up for Chrome. So for instance, if I'm in Chrome and then I start bending the screen, there is the Flex Mode panel, and then it sort of gives you a laptop style setup with a massive touchpad on that bottom half. So as you can see there, you can move a cursor around. You've got a variety of other options as well. So for instance, you can drag down the notifications panel with a quick tap of that icon, take a screenshot with that icon. You can also scroll by swiping over here on the right. If you bend the screen and you don't have it automatically entering flex mode, where you will notice the wee flex mode icon pop up here on the bottom half of the screen, give that a tap and you're straight in. And if you want to get out again, just tap this icon in the bottom left. Now, a great feature on Galaxy smartphones that not actually that many people seem to know about is Samsung DeX, which you can find once again hidden away in the settings menu. If you tap connected devices, it's lurking right in there. And this allows you to, for instance, wirelessly connect your Galaxy Z Fold 7 to a compatible telly or monitor. And once you're connected to your TV, just drag down the notifications bar and you'll see there's a use your phone as a touchpad option. And then you can just basically drag your thumb around on the Galaxy Z Fold 7 screen and use it as a touchpad, just tapping for a left click. And as you can see, you can access all of your apps. It's pretty handy if you want to bore the crap out of your family with a photo slideshow. And of course, naturally, you've got a bunch of AI shenanigans slapped on the Z Fold 7, including the Now Brief, which pops up on that Now bar on your lock screen just to fill you in on everything that's going on. And this can show you how you're doing on your health goals, what events you've got coming up, and the most depressing news in your local area in case you are actually feeling generally optimistic about life. You'll find that other things pop up in the Now bar on the lock screen as well, including media controls if you are enjoying a bit of music. You can also have the funny scores pop up in there if you tell Google who your favourite team is, although if they're a bit cack, you might want to disable that, otherwise it'll just put you in a foul mood every time you pick up your phone. And you've also now got something called Photo Ambient Wallpaper, which can change the vibe of any photo you slap on that lock screen depending on what the weather's up to. So for instance, today it's a wee bit foggy, so you might just about be able to make out a wee bit of sort of cloudy mist stuff. It is quite a subtle effect, quite difficult to make out, but obviously if it's chucking it down, as it is 90% of the time here in Blighty, you'll see a good rain effect instead. And if you fancy a bit of that, just dive into the settings, scroll down until you see Wallpaper and Style, and then hit Change Wallpaper. And in the Create with AI section, it is the Photo Ambient option. So as you can see there, you can have snow effects, sun effects, if you actually live somewhere that's sunny, etc. And also, if you do a lot of traveling, well, the interpreter tool is well worth getting to grips with. Now, what you want to do is tap this wee icon up here, which then activates the cover screen. Choose whatever language you want to translate yourself into. In this case, it's German. And I just tap this mic and start speaking. So, hello, how are you doing? And then the translation will pop up right there on the cover screen. And then they can speak at me. Ja, sehr gut, danke. So you can have a nice wee chin wag and not actually have to bother learning a foreign language. Hooray! And quite a wide variety of languages are supported. Just remember to download the language pack if it's one of the ones that isn't automatically installed before you bugger off abroad. And of course, you've got all the usual Google AI shenanigans as well, including a good bit of circle to search action if you spot anything you just want to know a bit more about it. And Gemini, who you can conjure up just by long pressing that power button. And if you jump on into the settings menu, the Galaxy AI menu is right up near the top there, and this will give you fast access to all of the different AI features. There are quite a few stashed away on here, so you might want to go through them in turn and sort of see if there's anything that you personally might use. And if you scroll right to the very bottom, you'll see there's an option, process data only on device. With that selected, it does limit some of the AI functionality, but it means that none of your data is sent online. Although Samsung promises that it only uses this data to service you, so to speak, and then immediately deletes it again, scouts honor, etc. Now, the AI shenanigans that most people will probably use and find quite helpful is hidden away in the gallery. This allows you to edit any photo that you've downloaded or that you've actually taken with the camera. So for instance, let's go into this bad boy here. Down here at the bottom, you've got your regular edit icon, otherwise AI edit. So in this picture, for instance, you might want to get rid of this lady in the background. Let's just draw around her. So she's been selected. We then hit the eraser icon and they will hopefully vanish from all existence. And then boom, it's like no other people ever existed. Or alternatively, if you flick across to sketch to image, you can actually add stuff to any picture. So for instance, I can pretend like I've got a wee dog friend. So I'm having a great old time here on the beach with me. Just hit generate. And somehow AI has managed to recognize that that was supposed to be a dog, and there you go. You're not happy with the first attempt, just swipe like so and hit generate one more and it'll try again. And then you've also got the Portrait Studio as well, where you can basically turn yourself into a Pixar character and all kinds of stuff. And of course, here on the Galaxy Z Fold 7, you can do all of the usual photo type shenanigans that you can do on other Samsung smartphones, like long press on a subject to save them as a sticker, which you can then quickly and easily share in messages and things like that. And you got some good video editing tools slapped on here as well. So for instance, you can just press and hold while any video is playing back and you'll enter slow motion mode. It's pretty good for those action clips. Then just release your finger when you're done. You can actually save this clip by tapping the wee icon up there. And if you have a video that has quite a lot of background noise that you'd like to simmer down, well, just tap that star icon down at the bottom again and you will load up Samsung's audio eraser tool. You can use this to sort out a variety of background guffery, including wind action, lots of crowd chatter, etc. All you've got to do is just push this wee slider along and it gets rid of any of that stuff that it detects in the background. Don't expect miracles, however. It can be a bit shonky, to say the least, even though Samsung has improved this over the original version. As for the actual camera itself, you can quick load this with a double tap of that power button on the side there. Oh, hello, there I am. And that is customizable by jumping into the settings menu and then going to advanced features and then side button. As you can see there, double press activates the camera, though you do have other options if you'd prefer. And if you tap the little settings cog thing next to camera, you can have it immediately jumping into the record video, take portrait, or take selfie modes. And of course, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 uses Samsung's typical camera app that you'll find on all other Sammy Blows. So if you've used a Samsung phone, you'll know what to expect. You can jump between, for instance, two different modes while taking a selfie if you want to take a group shot or not. If you tap the four wee dots down here, this opens up all the other sort of main toggles and features, including the filter mode, where you can actually create your own filter based on any photo you've got on your device. So for instance, we can create a nice crimson one based on this photo I took at the weird Kate Bush shenanigans going on in Folkestone. Let's just narrow it down to this guy's lovely red dress. And as you can see, we've got a very crimson filter going on now. But you can tweak the different settings, including saturation, so we can maybe calm that down a wee bit and change the strength as well, so it's not quite as full on. It just gives everything a nice sort of reddy, pinky tint. Hey look, I've got actual skin tone now. You've also got a couple of foldable specific camera features here. So for instance, tap this wee icon in the top left and you'll bring up a kind of gallery app here on the left hand side. So any photos that you take will pop up there so you can check them out and then maybe decide to quickly share or just bin them if they're a bit crap. Alternatively, you can also activate the cover screen by tapping this wee icon in the top right. Now this will allow your subject to check themselves out in that cover screen, use it as a kind of mirror, make sure they're happy with how they look before you take the snap. Or alternatively, if you want to use those rear cameras to actually take a selfie, you can just slide that padlock along like so. And now you've got full functionality right here on the cover screen. So you don't have to rely on the slightly less than stellar selfie cameras built into the cover screen or the internal display. It's also good for those extreme zoom selfies. Oh God, I'll have to take some tweezers to that later. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a tasty wee nutshell is my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 tips and tricks guide, just to help you get all set up and started with your massive, expensive new bendy thing. But what are your favourite features on the Z Fold 7 that I didn't mention? Definitely let us know down in the comments below. Please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. My full Z Fold 7 review is now alive, and you can expect plenty more Samsung content in the coming weeks because they just don't stop bloody launching stuff. Got watches, got the S25 Fan Edition on its way, all kinds of cracking stuff. So yes, have a great bloody week. Cheers everybody, love you.